Hi, I'm Peter Courtney. I'm going to be your guide in the resident workshop today. I am a person who very carefully distinguishes between what is important and what is serious. Nothing is serious to me. A lot of things are important, one of which is woodworking. So when I say things that sound bizarre or weird, just understand I'm trying to keep your attention. I'm not trying to terrorize you. Not everybody has my kind of sense of humor. I can't help that. This is the resident workshop. We share this space with the folks in the maintenance department, but they mostly leave this to us residents who want to risk cutting our fingers off. So here we are. We have a brand new saw stop table saw, which is designed to keep you from cutting those fingers I mentioned off. If you touch the blade when it's running, it stops in some very small fraction of a second. Although the people that demonstrate these never put their own fingers on them, they always use a hot dog. So safety is the number one thing, as Norm said. And the most important thing is wear these safety glasses. Moving around, we have this 1940s era drill, which is just fabulous. It's heavy duty, it works great, along with a metalworking vase, a blower to blow stuff around, every imaginable hand tool you would ever want to use, well marked small bits and pieces, another drill. Here's our sanding station. We have a jointer that works with brand new sharp blades on it. Sears is here in memoriam. I recycled this, front was rusting out in the garage. We have a router table. We have I forget what they call these, scroll saw. We have a brand new DeWalt planer, 13-inch, works great, brand new blades. Newly painted, but relatively new, 1642 jet lathe, a sharpening station for turning tools, glue and solvents, sandpaper of every description. Once again, a 1949 14-inch Delta bandsaw, works great. We just got rid of a plastic one that somebody bought from one of the big box stores because it was junk and dangerous. This is not, this is dangerous. Every single tool in this place can kill you. Most of them will just take your members off. The safest tool is the lathe, which has fewer accidents, but most of the accidents are fatal. So always keep that in mind when you're thinking about a new hobby. We have our screws and nuts and bolts for every kind. We have files, paper, levels. We have tunes. It's tuned to the local public radio station. They talk too much, so I never turn it on. As a result, I get to hear the music from next door, which is not what I would choose, but I get free tunes. This room is air conditioned and heated in the appropriate seasons, so it's available during the daylight hours most days, Monday through Friday and some weekends. So anybody who really needs a place to go to escape or be creative or have fun or make dust, this is it. We also have vacuums that we can use as dust collection. We have hoods for our faces. We have eye protection. We have nose protection. We always try to be very safe. I've been a woodworker since 2003, which I took up because I went to a retirement conference. And the fellow who led the retirement conference said, when you retire, you should take up a hobby that is different in form and style and content than what you did for a living. What I did for a living was to run my face. I'm a retired Episcopal priest, and I was pretty good at it. I got paid way too much to do it. And so I knew I had to have a hobby where I could point at something and say, I made that, and then somebody could say in response, no, you didn't make that, meaning, you pathetic thing, you couldn't possibly do that. But the fact is, I've made lots of things that people say, wow. So we're going to do some cutting and splicing and dicing for you here, just so you can see that all these things actually work. And then with any luck at all, unlike Norm, who has people to clean up and who never made any mistakes, if I don't do any of those things, then I will be able to show you something that's shiny and pretty, and you can say, you didn't do that. Today we're going to be working on a bowl, some of which I've already started. The base of it is made out of solid maple that I got from a fellow who died, whose widow sold his wood, which he in turn got from a coffin company down in East Longmeadow. So this is the very best wood you can possibly buy. We use a jig that I made. This is set up to make 16 segments at a time. I buy these things because I don't trust my own measuring ability. You put this in between these sliding sides. As long as these are perfectly parallel with no gaps, that means I'm going to get the same size segment every single time without exception. And when I put them together in a circle, there won't be any gaps. This requires 16 pieces to make a circle. I made 17 just in case one of them isn't the way I want it to be. Move over here and we'll make it into a circle. There. This isn't small enough to do this, but that's how you do it. Then I would take it out, put glue in, squeeze it again, put pressure on the top to keep it flat, and then we would carry it over to the next step of the operation. What we're going to do is I glued this on here. This is a ring like the one I just made. approximately the same size, and I'm gonna turn it down so it's smooth on this face, so I can glue another ring on top of it. And then I'm gonna turn this down so it's closer to the diameter of the existing base. I'm gonna put my mask on, shield on, because this is likely to spit at me. Almost. Nice and flat. Okay. Now I can come around the other side. Just trying to establish what this is going to be. Pretty good. And this will go on top of that. I'll have to sand this surface after I glue it. There'll be another one like that. And then I will drill in, and I'm going to do something a little more dramatic here. So you get a nice finish that way. Okay, now let's do the magic of YouTube. I actually cheated a little bit. I made two of these. partly because I couldn't be sure I didn't mess up. I still mess up, but it's not so likely because I'm not going to do anything dramatic. It's missing a set screw. That won't do. That would be okay for now. This is now we're going to do what everybody waits for, and every woodworker yearns for when it comes to especially wood turning. That's putting the finish on. I'm going to use a product from Australia, which is a combination of shellac and wax, and it has a very, very fine grit in it that puts a polish on this, and then we'll buff it. This is an international machine here. This machine was made in Taiwan. The lathe chuck was made in New Zealand, and the paste was made in Australia. So it's very international. One of the nice things about having this kind of finish is it has wax in it, which fills in some of the voids that naturally occur in the wood that you can't sand out, because you just end up with a stack of sawdust at the end and no bowl, which is really not the point of the exercise. You can see how the colors pop out when the finish goes on. Unfortunately, we don't have feel-o-vision, because what everybody wants to do when they see a piece like this is stick their fingers in it and say, ooh, smooth. Our wonderful camera person, Josh, can do that for you. Then he can say, you didn't make that, except you all saw me do it. Well, I suppose I could have faked this part too, but I didn't. This lathe goes up to 3,200 RPM, which is frighteningly fast. We'll crank it up here in a minute as soon as I get the wax and the shellac benefit from heat, and I'm creating a lot of heat with this paper towel, which is in effect a very fine form of sandpaper. Those of you who've tried to wash your face with a paper towel already know that. RPM. Wow. Even I'm impressed. This is the white diamond level. I don't know what the grid is. It's very fine. It goes on this middle one. And the one on the right is the wax. And this is just good old-fashioned, unadulterated American beeswax. So I'll give it a little buffy on the outside. Move things around, do the inside. We'll do the inside. Put a little what they call Renaissance wax, a microcrystalline wax polish on the inside, just because I can. I'll put some on the outside too, what the heck. C'est ça, a maple bowl. You can see the rays in the maple. Maple bowl with a yellow heart and purple heart segmented rim. Well, thank you for joining us on this brief journey to the residents' workshop at Loomis Lakeside at Reed's Landing. If you're one of the many people who are wondering, is this the kind of life I want to have for me? I hope this might be a clue for you that this is a wonderful place to live for all of the very best reasons. One of the things that I like to say to people when we have dinner with them when they come and visit, which I hope all of you will want to do very soon and enjoy our wonderful cuisine, which I've now mentioned 3 times. But when you come in, ask all the questions you can. Speak to residents. We'll tell you the truth, but here's the good news. In all the years I've been here, I've never had a single instance where anybody in the marketing department said something that wasn't absolutely true. They tell you the truth. Their job is to find you a new home so you can enjoy what could be the very best part of your life.